Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We had a bit of a banger for game number 1 here with Supernova going up against the one and only AOE randoms. It was an interesting one. A lot of expectations, I feel, were shattered this time around.
You know, I'd agree. I think that we got to see a completely different look of Supernova. We still got to see their delicate little indentations to the early game, but overall they showed a completely different side of them. And, you know, like you said, their coach, Zoo, has been very public about their attempts at improvement and has been very good to us as a talent team for allowing us to, you know, showcase and see why and how these improvements have been made. And in game number 1, we really got to see it, right? We got to see them come away with a slow, meticulous win that from start to finish was controlled in their approach, and they just used what is ultimately a Qiyana in the jungle, which felt like it was kind of going to be very difficult to play, but Actor managed to pull it out the bag. And like I said going in, if somebody's willing to pull out Qiyana, I know they're doing it for a reason, and Actor really just showed off what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I gotta ask you, first of all, I just noticed, very professional, man, I left my fan on, so I gotta go turn that off. I do need to ask you though, are there any bands you're already expecting to see just off of game 1, or is this going to be like in our last series where it's like, it's not you, it's me, you know, just we need a different comp?
Well, I'd say the fact that AOE randoms have an extra ban because they banned away, they missed one of their bans in last game, right? They had Kindred, they had the Graves, and then they just missed one. True. Now, whether they missed one for a reason, I think, you know, it remains to be seen. If they have a free ban extra, who knows where that's going to go, right? Maybe they launch that onto Qiyana as well. Potentially goes toward Talia because Ariandel given a lot of free time to roam around, even though the early roams weren't necessarily as successful as you may like to see. True. Still, just that opportunity cost, maybe not something that AOE randoms are looking to give over.
Absolutely. Well, only 1 minute to draft. It was nice to see, though, that while some of our expectations obviously were shattered, a lot of the things that we were looking for, especially when it comes to these teams and what they're looking to do, were met indeed, especially with these junglers that are really looking to get into those skirmishes, get into those scuffles. And even if this time around, obviously, it took a little longer than we expected, especially here from, you know, Supernova with Actor having that, not lackluster start, but it took a minute for him to get online, so to speak.
Yeah, a little bit of a slower rolling ball this time round. I think that we need to look at AOE randoms to show some sorts of improvements as well. I think that they did have some shining stars, right? Geiger looked really good on the Gwen to start off with. I think that if they can get their hands on that Gwen, then they're going to be in a very good spot just as a baseline. Of course, moving forward throughout the rest of it as well, Nemesis on that Swain never really had that big team fight that we expect from a Swain. There was one around the Dragon where you got to see the frontline capabilities, but outside of that, their team cohesion still not quite where it needed to be for that first style of competition to go off and really take off.
Definitely. Well, already we're seeing a couple of reruns when it comes to the bans here. AOE randoms taking that Kindred off the board, and Supernova opting to get rid of the Lilia here. So nothing new just yet. Curious to see if they're going to try and just get rid of Actor's picks once again. Maybe see if they can force them onto the Qiyana and then actually pick something to counter that. You never know.
Yeah, there is that world, and I think that already the changes coming through those bans certainly, you know, could well prove to be fairly useful for the AOE randoms. We mentioned that they have got a third one, so maybe that comes out and shows its face. The Graves are going to be number 2. Lilia, Lulu taken off the board thus far for Supernova, and of course now that they're on the blue side, have to see what their sort of first pick priority does come down to, because last time round I think we saw Wukong just taken off the board, so whether they want to leave it up and give it over, have to wait and see, because first of all, AOE randoms, they either have to ban the Gwen or risk giving up at the very least.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, I don't know if it's the move. They are there. Here we go. Last ban coming in. Now or never. If you want to get rid of that Gwen. Throw up the board. Gwen. We're manifesting. There it is. We manifested. Lilia was already taken off the board, so we manifested the Gwen ban, and they're hovering it. So I'm a little worried. Come on. Okay, there we go. They do take it.
And now we get to see what Supernova want, right? They have free reign of everything that's not particularly, you know, giga broken. Potentially Actor just locks in Qiyana. Talia was that last staple they first rotationed it in the first game. That was R1 pickup for Ariandel. Had a lot of power, did exactly what it was supposed to do in the first game, and it makes no sense to not default back to it. Going for the same thing here in game number 2.
Yeah, actually, the Victor being picked up, though, I believe one of the picks that we ended up seeing being banned last time around with that slight more range. I think that was in the series prior to this where we saw the Victor being taken off the board, right? And especially in that mid lane, you do have kind of extended range coming out, especially with the laser and with that pick on the Talia. Do you think that maybe this time around Supernova got like the big brain strat? They're like, actually, we're going to send it into the jungle? Or do you think that Actor's too big of a priority to put him on a pick like that?
Yeah, if you're putting Actor onto Leo, you're changing your game plan entirely.
Sure.
Now, I'm not saying that that Supernova can't do that. They quite easily, you know, showed us in game number 1 that they aren't just this one-trick early game team. They can play styles, but I really like this adaptation from AOE Randoms, right? Last time they took the Gwen into GP. This time around with Gwen off the board, they feel confident to blind the GP for Geiger in the top lane. And with Geiger being a fairly skilled Gwen, I think that, you know, the confidence to take GP says that's going to stick through once more. Tomato going for this Kai'Sa very early on. A bit of a surprise to me, but all for it. I'm here and ready to see Pluto this time round on a Rel. So again, a champion that we've not really seen too much as of recent, but we'll have to see whether or not it can truly perform up to this Kai'Sa's level again.
Indeed, indeed. We also see the Rakan being locked in. I feel like Supernova just kind of like, they were a little worried because last time around we did see that we waited for those ADC bans to come out until kind of the later stages, the last couple of bans. And so maybe they want to just secure it already because Tomato was definitely putting up numbers. He was doing work on that Kai'Sa. It was very nice to see, especially towards the end of the game when he had that damage, had the items, and he was just running down the members of AOE like it was nothing.
Now, this could be drawing back to your point here of we want to take this Talia into the jungle because they're constantly drawing these bans on jungle champions, and you know, if they want to keep drawing jungle bans, it's a good time to put that Talia into the jungle. I have to wait and see if this is still the case. Fairly AP oriented team composition thus far. Over, of course, Kai'Sa has that magic damage, but mainly builds that AD right now. Volibear plus Olaf bans means that I imagine Meslo wants to go for something fairly early game centric, since those two champions are, you know, the two early game kings of top lane essentially. Locking the Xayah Rakan, very nice duo there, and with Supernova still looking to see what they want to round out with. I also want to quickly just attribute a little bit here. The Riven ban that we've seen in both games thus far is shown off to Meslo. This guy played a lot of Riven mid lane, is sort of known for his Riven in the mid lane, and getting that one banned away from him time and time again. Always good to see a player that can pull a ban in particular.
Yeah, oh my God, we're getting the craziest
early
picks.
Game.
Oh my God, the Jace and the Nidalee being locked in here. So I'm almost certain we're going to be seeing the Talia in the mid lane and put onto the Nidalee. Gonna be curious to see how those spears start flying. And over on AOE Randoms, actually picking up the Zed here. Oh my God.
I wanted to say going in, Cyber plays AD Assassins in the jungle. Thought that this could be a flex pick between both him and Nemesis 9. Right, both of these players are very capable of playing Zed. Obviously, we have a Victor. We know the Victor's not going jungle. This is Zed jungle, without a doubt. Cyber going to be taking this one, but you want to throw down with an early game jungler, you pick a Nidalee blind into AoE randoms, and Cyber just says, "Thank you for the challenge. I have accepted. Here is my assassin answer."
Yeah, absolutely. This is a matchup for the books right now, really. I'm just looking at this and like running down in my head like, wow, it is going to be volatile in the top lane. It is going to be volatile in the jungle. It's going to be volatile in the mid lane. I have a feeling it's going to be chaos all around.
You know, you're not wrong. I think that Xayah Rakan always boast early game fighting. You can very easily get away with some early skirmishes down there. Kai'Sa want to do exactly the same thing. I'd actually go, you know, a little bit back on what you mentioned then. I think the mid lane is probably going to be the one area of the map we can expect to be fairly tempered, just because of the nature of Talia versus Victor and the nature of Ariandel in particular. Yeah. Never necessarily wants to go too much for mid lane solo kills necessarily. Always looks to go for the plays around the map. I'm holding my tongue here because I see Geiger's locked in Victor and Nemesis is locked in GP. But I think these are just issues with the overlay because everything's in the wrong spot. So I waited.
Dude, Kai'Sa jungle, I'm down for it.
I'm ready. I was like, oh, okay. Early on they were looking good, but then this time round, we're all good. We're gonna get everything switched around, make sure that is set up accordingly. But hey, Kai'Sa jungle would be kind of lit though, no? That
would be kind of crazy. Jace ADC as well as Rel mid. Like, we're just making this the craziest match in existence. I'd be more than down for it, honestly.
Supernova win game 1, and they're like, hey,
let's do
we don't
something
need
crazy.
it. We don't need it.
Let's do something crazy. We got 2 games, right? So
we need the practice. That was it. We need the practice. We'll take a 3rd game here just to make sure. But right, so I imagine then that once everything gets figured out, it's going to be Victor back in the mid lane, GP in the top. We are about to hop into the game though, so that's pretty cool. But Devin Pocus in the bot lane, I want to see a little bit better things from Devin. Unfortunately, on that Cogmo, your positioning has to be perfect. And one crucial time in the mid lane, he did get caught out this time round. He's playing the Xayah, has a couple more team fight tools to get out to safety. Doesn't necessarily have to be perfect with positioning at all times because you've got Featherstorm, Gale Force, and the like to potentially buy you out of a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so things are looking a lot more form factor this time around. Okay, so it is not going to be the Kai'Sa jungle or anything crazy like that.
Shaking my head.
Yeah, I am disappointed. I was promised chaos. I was here for the chaos, but I'm not getting any, unfortunately. But yeah, Cyber on that Zed jungle, and I feel like that really embodies what we touched on at the start of this series as well, where we were saying how Cyber wants to play those AD assassins in the jungle. He wants to be that carry, and what better champion to do it than Zed?
Yeah, you know, there's not really too many. When you're looking at the junglers and you're looking at assassins, weirdly enough, Zed is up there, right? If you're a League of Legends oldie, you will be very familiar with Zed in the mid lane, not so much Zed in the jungle. Zed clears single target camps very quickly because his passive always procs on monsters. So every single time he autos a target below 50% HP, his passive procs. Just always. There's no cooldown.
Hey, I'm sure he ain't complaining.
No, I'm sure he's not, but I'm sure that Acton may well be, because he's playing Nidalee again, another jungler who clears very, very quickly, but then you get to Crab and you're both 24 CS and you're like, huh? I was the only one who could do this.
Exactly here. Already Ariandel looking to start things up here in the mid lane. We said it was going to be tempered, but they're already trying to find something. Pluto, though, yo, he is just... Look at this, man. This is just absolutely... It's a bull support. Ah, okay. They're going to like, you know, hey, I know you're in there. You know I'm in here. Let's just step on out.
It took Pocus 3 auto attacks to break through the Rel shield. That's Rakan gaming right there. That's what you hate to see.
Yeah. Yo, can we get like a full auto attack based Rakan? Actually, we're gonna be getting the knockup first though. Rel also grabbing something though here, but overall trade's not really gonna go in anyone's favor. Not really finding anything just yet. Actor, maybe looking for a spear in the mid lane. Oh, it does hit. A little bit of damage coming out, but other than that, he's just kind of being a nuisance.
Supernova and using Actor to push the mid lane. Leeches Ariandel's XP. Does not care. Oh, hey guys.
Listen, bro, he's the main character. He needs it more.
and this is what it gets you, right? I laugh and I meme about it, but it's got them this red buff.
Yeah.
Ariandel now.
Seismic shift, not quite gonna grab Cyber. A very nice
Into the spear
there. Yep, the flash, double flash coming out as well. Could this be a kill? Could this be first blood? Wow. It will indeed. And it goes into the hands of Actor.
And just like it's come out of the textbook, Supernova 101, we use Actor, we push in the mid lane, and then we move into the jungle, we take out whoever's there.
Yep.
And now they're going to go top lane and take Geiger too.
Indeed, they take out whoever's anywhere on the map. Geiger running for his life, the flash coming out, but can't quite find the damage. They need the spear. Oh, the minion is going to block it though. And so overall, Geiger will survive. But, oh, wow, that's a lot of healing coming out from that orange actually.
Yeah, they may just try to dive him on this one here. Already, he's tanked a spear already, actually, so this could be very dangerous for Geiger. Looks like they're just going to back away. No mana on either of the two in the top lane. Ooh,
so
okay.
Close.
Stay for another. Stay for another.
Yeah,
He's going to.
Come on, Actor. Oh, no!
Oh, he gets it!
Let's go, Actor. He is a man of many talents, and today he put on the mask of a killer.
Okay, as much as Actor's nailing these spears, that is unforgivable from Geiger. You do not stay there when a Nidalee is just... You're playing dodgeball with a Nidalee on 150 HP. I'm not allowing that. Either way, 2-0 start to the Nidalee. This is exactly what Supernova wants. This is exactly what Nidalee wants in any game of League of Legends. 2 kills already, starting off great.
Yep, Ariandel as well. Getting some good trades coming out, but Nemesis 9 has some damage of his own, and so overall, gonna go fairly even. Pots are gonna be popped as well. Now this bot lane looking like a pristine opportunity for a gank here for Actor, as he is surely but slowly gonna clear his way down. Pluto and Tomato just kind of stuck under this turret at the moment and can't really move.
Actor still hasn't taken his red buff, his own blue buff. His first blue is still up and ready, wait to be taken. He's just going to get taken on his second cycle of camps, I guess. But, I mean, right now, this is so cool. Actor pushes mid lane, and guess what's going to happen with Ariandel?
He's gonna go ahead and get. Oh, are they actually gonna? They're just gonna roam back up. He's like, I don't need my own topside jungle when I have your jungles. Thank you so much for the donation.
Yeah, and the wise thing is, right, that Axe has taken away his own raptors before doing this. So you would look at Cyber to say, okay, can you get anything on the flip side?
Yeah.
There's a ward protecting the entrance. There's no raptors there to be found. The only play that Cyber has really is to try to go for a gank now. He's got nothing left to do. Could have gone for his Gromp, honestly, but walks over an Italy trap, gets spotted out, and now Ariandel, in case he wasn't cheating enough towards that top side, is just going to stay even further away.
Yeah, absolutely huge. And this time around, I feel like we are seeing the Supernova that we know and love so much. Gonna try and find a kill here onto Geiger. Are they gonna get it? The spear gets
hits.
dropped, but once oh my god,
Here's
the Weaver's
Ariandel.
wall. They won't let Geiger live for a second. Come on, let the poor man lane in peace. They're gonna take him out, and that kill's gonna go into the hands of Ariandel.
Oh, and I wonder, this is just brutal. This is peak cyberbullying. AoE randoms, they may look for a play down on this bot side. There are no level 6s, so this is difficult. And Tomato has got a lot of health, flash, and heal ready.
Yep. Cyber is here. Oh, he's not level 60, so he won't have the death mark, and instead they're just going to go for the dive. Tomato gets ignited. He's kiting pretty well, though. Devin incredibly low. Too much damage taken from the tower. It is a disaster indeed. Tomato, he's doing the 1,000,000-mile run right now. He's not going to escape, and he knows it, but he's going to waste as much time as he can.
Victor Bucks gained for Nemesis. He does get plus 25 on his way towards his first upgrade, so it's not all doom and gloom. And they do find the kill in the bot side, right? Tomato is going to lose a fairly large wave from the turret, and also I think his wave is pushing away from him. So hopefully Devin and Pocus can control this lane and set up for a repeat gank for AoE randoms, because so far it has been complete topside domination by Supernova. Really nice footwork from Tomato, dodges away from the knockup, also dodges away from the majority of the Z damage as well. And unfortunately, the only reason he really dies is because he has to kite away from the turret to dodge all of that damage. Eventually falls here. Nemesis picks up the kill as well. So it's not just those extra 25. It is the kill gold going over to your mid laner, which I think for AoE randoms here is a pretty good sign of life, because this Victor is going to be one of the few targets that I think is going to have a time, or at least any chance really, at carrying through the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Things looking a little bit grim for AoE randoms right now. This is the Supernova we are known. Why do I keep saying we are known? That they are known for, right? It's like, get that early
Cyber
lead.
got a raptor camp.
Let's go. He finally was allowed to farm his top side. You love to see it. Breathe a sigh of relief. Probably won't be happening again anytime soon if Actor has to say of it. But for the third time, I'll try and make my point. And for the third time, I will be interrupted because Pluto was looking for something. Can't quite find anything on Nemesis 9. Maybe fourth time's the charm here, right? Supernova finally showing us what we expected to see from them in that first game as well, right? Where they really just hard stomp, it feels like, at the start, get themselves those early game leads, and so then they just have to make sure that they translate that into a win going forward.
And they're doing that so far so good. Now, we do still have to hold our reservations. Previously, they've been in these spots and not had the best time.
Indeed, indeed. Cyber level 6 death mark onto Tomato. Can he find the damage, though? It's not looking too likely. Yep, no, won't get it indeed. Focus does get stunned, gets slowed.
TP.
Yeah, TP coming out indeed. Gonna have to use the flash. Meslo over the wall with the crushing blow onto Devin. They're looking to find him. Featherstorm does get dropped, though, and so he will be able to escape. A double stun coming out. That might be exactly what they need. Meslo incredibly low, and the Chaos Storm gets dropped. That's one kill going into the hands of Nemesis 9. That's about all they're going to find for today, though, so instead they're going to back off. But Actor, the spear gets dropped, hops over the wall, then just slices and dices Pocus like it's nothing. Looking to find another one here. Gets over the wall. He's so big. He gets 2. Can he get 3 here as well? Actor. Oh, my God. Actor and Ariandel, the dream team, are going to take 3 members off the board.
Oh, and I was going to credit Area of Effect right there, because they find the fight where Actor's not there. Unfortunately, they stick around just a little too little, a little too late. An Actor comes in, finds 3 kills all told, and another successful play on the bot side for Supernova. Turned around from AOE trying to find themselves any semblance of hope in this game. I want to draw your attention to a few things in the back end of this team fight, particularly, with Actor and the mechanics in which he's showing off on this Nidalee. Now, great stuff by Devin, finds that last minute route and ultimately sets up for this kill for Nemesis. And then when this first spear goes wide, you start to think, ooh, maybe that's about it. But we have some really nice little Nidalee play right here. This stuff, not necessarily the greatest. You get the kill, you get in, you get out. But then hits this Q flash plus spear. What you'll notice that Actor's doing is using all of his cooldowns before the Q execute, because his Q, the Cougar Q, is used and the damage dealt is based off of your missing HP. So the more damage you do before you use the Q, the more damage you're going to do once you use it, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely, and his big brain, and he's doing it again. Geiger with the flash to get away. A lot of damage. Will at least get that Dark Harvest. Just barely misses that last spear that was needed, and so Geiger gets to walk out of that one.
He's not based yet either, has Actor. Likely going to be sitting on a very large sum of gold when he does end up going back to base. Plus, this entire turret's going to fall as well. That's a completed mythic and probably some extra juice too.
So much damage coming up from the Q, the double Q from both Meslo and Actor. Geiger has to watch as his turret falls. Nothing he can do will take out the Rift Herald, and now he'll finally get a chance to breathe in this top lane.
Well, yeah, but now the thing is, if his lane's in a bad position, he's got to go even further back. He's got to run it even further to get to something like safety. And if we've seen this game so far, a turret does not do anything for Geiger. He still gets dove.
The turret is just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to watch you die. Sorry, buddy. Not much I can do. It's rough, I know. And speaking of dying, Devin is looking to follow suit. The Featherstorm does get dropped, though. Is ignited, but that disengage is going to allow him to back off. Meanwhile, Focus looking to try and find something onto Actor. Cyber is there as well. It's going to hop over the wall. Maybe they try to bait him in. Nah. Going to dodge the spear, but overall, don't want to start anything just yet. And that's because Pluto is here with Tomato, but Tomato going to opt to go for those plates instead. And in the backline, Ariandel is going to try and find something onto Focus here. And he get it though. It's not looking too likely. Devin, meanwhile, going down under that turret. Too much damage though onto Ariandel. He bit off more than he could chew, and he will go down in return.
Yeah, nice feat from Pocus there. Stays alive, and Ariandel, as you say, goes a little too far forward. This is really good for Area of Effect, actually. Yes, they lose their ADC, but Nemesis right now, farming up a Storm in the mid lane, going to be getting plates for himself as well. Alone time in the mid lane, something that a Victor very rarely able to acquire, and we're looking at that CS differential as well. Nemesis is really putting the screws to Ariandel in the matchup thus far. And if you're able to get this Ludens completed within a timely manner and start being a carry for the team, this isn't all over just yet for Area of Effectors. We look at this dive on the bot side once again. Devin, unfortunately, just a little bit zoned out. Supernova, quite rightly, just isolate the Xayah, take the free kill. And despite the best efforts of Devin, Flash there is never really going to do anything for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Get that kill and get out. An Actor with Night Harvester already built and 8 Dark Seal stacks is looking like a bit of a menace, not gonna lie.
This, it's not going to be a Medjay's just yet. I think you want to see a Zhonya's completely finished before you look to take that one. And, the way that Actor plays, he just go very aggressive, a very real possibility that he ends up, unfortunately, just, falling. Ooh, okay. Okay, secured for Cyber. But yeah, the likelihood is this just stays as a Dark Seal and is always a very scary prospect. Oh, Tomato's dead.
Yep. Oh, well, something happened down in that bottom lane. Tomato is going to bite the dust. Unfortunately, will go down, and that's going to allow Devin to get these waves and get some of that turret plating. 30 seconds left before it falls down. Meanwhile, Actor clearing some vision here. Keeping their eyes on the dragon. Ariandel is getting blown up right now. The Chaos Storm is falling, but it doesn't even matter. Actually still picking up that kill with his death mark on top of Actor. He's getting lower and lower. He might be losing those Dark Seal stacks today. He is indeed. Hand them over, baby.
Nice stuff from AOE Randoms. 2-4-1 in their favor. They lose out on the Xayah down in the bot side. Or rather on the Victor, excuse me. But they're able to find 2 kills overall in that jungle exchange. Really nicely done. Cyber now going to be able to quite easily whittle his way through this Baron. Collect another objective. Now the first one actually in favor of AOE Randoms. As so far, Axe had pretty much free reign. And now you can see him starting to build toward that Zhonya. Is Devin going to get this turret as well down in the bot lane? And this is what happened down there. Tomato down a level, despite all of the attention that had been put toward Devin. Never really got the best end of things. And you can just see Parkus comes on in. Really nice route from those feathers. And just good execution. Really nice Xayah play overall.
Yeah, absolutely nothing Tomato could do there. And like you said, with all that extra attention, you would think that he's able to hold his own, but no dice is going to go down. And so will this Rift Herald as well, with the almost the entirety of Supernova here to take it out. And depending on where they place that, this would open up a whole lot of siege potential.
Yeah, and now I want to draw your attention quickly up to that gold lead, because last game we saw fairly slow, fairly methodical, but Supernova was slowly just picking up and building leads. This time round, they've gone for their heavy style, fast-paced game, but you can see the second that shutdown went over, the second Actor died, that gold lead just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
They've lost it. And now AOE randoms, they're the ones with that gold lead. They need to be so careful, do Supernova, when playing with this lead to not give over those kills. Unfortunately, they've already fallen a little bit down the hole. We need to see whether or not Actor can now continue to build back up that lead, or if Cyber, with that shutdown, is going to be able to really put some damage out this match.
Yeah, definitely need to be careful. They are definitely still on top of things at the moment, but slowly but surely, AOE randoms are looking to flip the script in their favor. Meslo, Nemesis, looking to just push these bot waves here. Pluto and Focus both going to get spotted out, and so Meslo will know that he definitely needs to be careful. Pluto's just kind of staring like, yeah, I know you're there, bro.
Nemesis is an absolute monster this game. I want to reiterate this, that if AOE randoms are looking to take big 5v5 team fights, it's going to be if Supernova looks to take big team fights, it's going to be very difficult for them, because they have to fight up against the team fighting of a GP Victor and a Xayah in the late game, which their composition simply does not match. They have to play loose and fast, where they find somebody picked off in a little bit of in a pocket of vision and quickly go for those snap engages, find somebody who's a little bit overextended, and then get out quickly, because like I say, these big, drawn-out engagements are never going to go their way. They just don't have the composition to facilitate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Actor looking for something here. See if you can find something. Gonna use just a preemptive spear there into the bush. Definitely needs to be careful though. They're looking to just clear some vision out. Meanwhile, Focus. There we go. Rift Tail does get dropped in this mid lane, and so that should guarantee the destruction of this mid tier 1. Not much that AoE randoms can do, but watch as their turret falls. Cyber clearing the jungle here a little bit. Let's see if they can get that second crash going in. I'm not too sure of it. The Weaver's Wall, though, looking to... Oh, actually, they are still going to lock off Devin. Is going to use a Flash Feather Storm to get over that wall. That was huge. And Focus as well over the wall. So everyone gets out safely, but that will be some Summoner's Burns.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with this Xayah, right? You've got a few tools just to keep yourself alive if you are on the wrong side of a wall. Granted, Devin there, not really too far.
Oh, Death Mark onto Tomato, though. See if they can find anything, but not quite enough damage. Had to back off. The poke was a bit too much. Void Seeker, they're going to go a bit long. Not going to find anything. The spear almost connecting onto Devin. That could have sealed his fate, but they actually get him. Oh my god, they get Actor under tower, and he is going to pay the price for it. We saw the TP coming out, but it's going to get canceled because that turret does go down at the end of the day.
Geiger not really going to be able to find anything on the retaliation, right? Wanted to TP in, doesn't get there, unfortunately. And a 1-for-0. Yes, you get the mid-tier 2, but once again, Actor falls. Your linchpin, really, of this composition. Going down under the turret, going to be fairly scary for the Supernova team. They're able to hold their ground, and they do keep their mid-tier 1 available. But it's also worth noting that, once again, Nemesis in the top lane gets a turret for himself, gets a lot of minions, free farming on this Victor, going to be fully maxed out on his Hex Core now, and is sitting very pretty in this matchup. 2 items, got a Banshee's Veil already completed as well, so the kill threat of Actor really mitigated already. The issue that they're going to run into with this Banshee specifically is when we look at the poke setup that Supernova have got, it speaks volumes. They have got Kai'Sa W plus all Tilia poke under turret, all Jason Nidalee poke as well. Supernova can set up at an objective, set up at a turret. That Banshees is surely not long for the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of setting up for objectives here, this next dragon is up in 20 seconds. Neither team yet at the, or even close to soul point just yet, so don't have to be too worried about that yet. Nemesis looking to just shove in that wave to secure themselves this position in the river here, and Baron up as well in 50 seconds. So, man, I don't think we ever really see a rush coming through from Supernova, and instead, yeah, they're just going to opt to go on into this top lane and shove that in.
Yeah, trading gold for the dragon, something that you'll see teams do very frequently. They do have to get this top tier 2, which up against a victor is going to be very difficult. So, you know, it looks like it's actually probably just going to be a dragon for nothing, which obviously favors AOE randos because they get something, and for Supernova, they don't. So, you know, losing out on your top camps as well, you could argue the value of that, but Nemesis doing a great job just running point, making sure that they're not losing too much on the other side of the map.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that's all you really got to do right now, right? You just give this Victor more and more time to scale up, become more of a menace. You give Devin more and more time to farm up and get some more of these items. And as long as you keep Actor in check, keep shutting them down, keep making sure that he gets stuck under these turrets, you should be right as rain.
My question is then, oh, okay, well, Axe is dead again.
Oh my god, no, Actor. He's not taking
Is
it.
he?
No, he's not.
Is
The
he?
heal come out, and huge Magnet Storm gets dropped. Cyber the first one to go
Wow.
down. Geiger needs to flash to get out, but it's not going to be enough. A double kill going into the hands on Meslo. Trying to get that triple. Won't quite find his seismic shift. Absolutely huge. Rel will finally go down, but that's the only man they're losing. The spear was huge, and it hits, and down goes Pocus. Hocus Pocus, you just got deleted from the map, and that might just be the ticket to Baron.
And it should be here. Yes, Nemesis is up. Yes, this is AOE Random's biggest member. But whether that's enough to do a 1v4 up against Supernova and all of the range that they've got, I don't think that's the case. Look at the damage as well. This thing just gets absolutely shredded. Kai'Sa, it's gone. It's gone. That's all that matters. Supernova, despite everything there, despite Actor being caught out, the Zhonya's actually buys enough. And you think here, okay, Actor, you get a really good jump, and then you think, okay, there's 3 people sitting and waiting. Surely you're just dead here. But just a jump is enough, plus a heal. They just don't have enough damage, AoE, and they get taken down. Meslo with 1 snipe from downtown to the skies takes down Geiger as well, and just able to run havoc in the backline. Another double seismic shove. This time it's Ariendel showing up huge. And production doing Pocus a little bit dirty, but ultimately a nailed spear all the same.
Yep, that was a bit of a durability patch diff. I feel like you see Actor getting out with like 1 HP, huge 213 HP heal coming out from that E there, and because there's no anti-heal on the side of AoE randoms, nothing to really mitigate that. And so Actor gets out of that, absolutely huge, and they're able to just turn that fight around with that Baron as well. That's going to allow them to siege so much more of this map. We see the bot tier 1 is going to go down, and it's looking like they're going to actually make sure that this tier 2 is soon to follow, looking to push this wave as hard as they can. They've got the 4-man here. You've got jungle and support proximity, and so I don't think they'll be able to... Oh, actually, I mean, it's just a cannon minion, so they might be able to stop this push.
But ultimately, something really important as well from off-screen while we were watching the replay was that Nemesis did end up falling. So that ceded over a lot of control of this bot side jungle to Supernova. Now with this Baron, they need to try and take control. I thought that seismic was huge. Not going to be the case, but this is where Supernova's comp also exceeds. Look at all the poke that comes through. You've got Talia nailing turret shots left, right, and center. Meslo always firing out these accelerated shock blasts, spears from every which way but how. And eventually, you just have to play this war of attrition game when you don't have a healer on your squad, you've not got a Sona, a Soraka, a Yuumi on your team. You're just going to have to go back to base, and that's when the advantage is given over. That's when Supernova find their lead. They take the turret now, and they're going to go back to base here. They've got pretty much all the turrets outside the base, save for that top tier 2, and they're going to reset, look to set themselves up around this dragon.
Yep, with this drag up in a minute 30. Should be fairly easy for them. Baron buff still up for a good 50 seconds, but we get a little bit of a replay, and we actually get to see how Nemesis bit the dust.
Yeah, just overextended a little too much there. Did take down that mid-tier 1, in fairness, so... You know, mission successful. Unfortunately, what it cost them was that bot lane tier 2. And in terms of gold, it's a beneficial trade for Supernova because they get the kill as well. In terms of map movements and map control, we'll have to see how that ends up playing out.
Yeah, valiant sacrifice, you know. At least they get something out of it now. They are looking to shove into this mid lane. They're here, no minions to stop the charge at the moment. The Weaver's wall is going to cut off Devin and Pocus, so maybe this is something they can capitalize on. You see Tomato, he's there to try and get that minion away, but overall, don't want to force anything just yet. They don't want to pick a fight.
Gravity well.
Yeah, that gravity well as well. They don't want to pick a fight unless it's in an absolutely opportune moment. We do see there that Edge of Night paying off, right? Blocks Meslo's Empowered Q there. And so overall, a fight is definitely brewing. I feel like if Actor can hit a spear, then that might be the engage they need. But I'm still waiting for the perfect time.
Yeah, they're just playing for mid lane priority. Fortunately, now Supernova, they've cleared out the wave that they needed to, and they'll have enough time to go for this Drake and probably get back and defend their turret. AOE randoms right now, they recognize this. They know they can't get in. They can't just walk into this team unless Parkus finds some godlike engage. It's just not going to be the case. They go up towards this top side. They may well take a top tier 2 in exchange, which is going to be very good for them. And they also take away some top jungle camps. So overall for AOE, this is pretty good. For Supernova, it's going to be a long slog toward victory if they're going for this soul, but this is the first step in that direction.
Yep, 3 more drags to go, 15 more minutes, but who knows, maybe we'll already be done before that even happens. Regardless, we do see top camps were taken. Not quite enough pushing power to take out that top tier 2. Didn't want to risk anything, and so instead, going to just go ahead and back. And so really the question is right now, if you are on the side of AOE randoms, what's the plan here? How are we getting back into this thing?
We need Porkus to set up engages. We need this Ricard to find the angles. We saw Jim 3P. We need it from Porkus this time around. That is the way to find these fights. We have 4 incredibly squishy champions on Supernova that can get bursted out in a second if they get CC'd and if they get knocked up.
Yep, and speaking of that, looking to find something maybe. Once again, I respect Supernova playing safe, right? You know, even though they have this massive gold lead at the moment and they hit like a truck, they still play respectfully. They don't want to give any extra gold over if they can help it.
Now all of that setup that we saw around that dragon going to be redeployed out on the top side of the rift. With the Baron spawning now in just under a minute's time, AOE randoms are going to have to start face checking their red buff and all the brushes around there to make sure that they're not taking too much damage.
Come on, actor. That is just gotta be illegal. Yeah, it reminds me, I had a game once, right? I had a Cassiopeia on the enemy team who would sit in that bush and would wait for you to take the Hextech gate, and the moment you came out of that, you're done. Like, it was over. You literally could not move.
Well, I think that Supernova are going to look to do the same thing, maybe on a bit of a larger scale this time round. Anybody wants to go into that brush, anybody wants to go through that gate, they're going to have to battle for their life to get out of it safely. That's for sure. With Porkus now trying to clear out some vision. Ariandel could be caught.
Yep, needs to be careful. Yes, seismic shift, though, is going to go ahead and buy himself the space that he needs. And step into the gravity well, so not going to find it. But actor flash over the wall, death mark, but it doesn't even matter. You signed your own death warrant. It's going to go down. No damage taken from actor.
Yep, the issue then with the Zed ultimate, of course, it's very predictable to land a spear. One of the main drawbacks of Zed is that those skill shots can be found as Geiger checks in, takes a large chunk of his health for the benefit, I suppose, and 20 seconds on Cyber. That's no jungle, that's no smite, and this Baron should be just Supernovas.
Yeah, maybe the Cannon Barrage, it is up. Maybe they try and steal it with that, but that would probably be in the most pristine universe. Pockets trying to find something, trying to get some vision on the Baron, but he is just being absolutely zoned off by Pluto. He is mass. I mean, he's like, go ahead, step up, let's see what you got.
Yeah, and again, quite rightly here, AOE randoms, they don't got anything. They say, we don't have a jungler, we're not trying to fight. What we can do is try and take a bit of control, try and take some camps while you're resetting, and again, this is good from AOE randoms to try and capitalize on the worst case scenarios, but ultimately they would rather be in a position where they could fight for the Baron and where they could get it for themselves. Second time out, though, we need to see what Supernova can do with this second Baron.
Yep. Oh, might just get caught out here, though. The 2-man just chilling. Paucus in the backline here with the quickness, trying to get those charms going. Does find it. Actor does eat the dirt, and with him down, that's a huge damage dealer out of the game. Tomato, though, over the wall is safe for now. We do see Paucus finally being taken out, though. Pluto needs to run for his life as well. The Chaos Storm does get dropped. Geiger
Meslo
too far forward, though. Yeah, Meslo trying to find something. Geiger is going to heal, though, with the orange, and will stay alive. And overall, just going to go 1 for 1 here.
Overall, then, a 1 trade for AOE randoms. They take down the jungler, they only lose their support. That's net positive if you are the AOE random squad. Plus, Actor probably had a big bounty on his head too, so extra kill, extra gold, more stuff for the AOE randoms. Good little good little return on the face check there from Actor to catch or get caught out, I suppose. Supernova going a little bit too fast into the darkness, and they do pay for it with a lot of lost time. That Baron only up for 90 seconds now, and they're going to have to use the majority of that time setting up for this dragon if they want to take it.
Yep, AOE randoms need to get that drag if they want to put themselves onto Soul Point. And it was nice to see them catching an Actor, and that's the thing, Actor just not very tanky, obviously, with the build that he's going for right now, going more for that one-shot damage deal. And so if he does get caught out, as we saw there, it can spell the end for him. But with that Zonius is able to buy a lot of time for his team a lot of times.
I love this minigame that Supernova have to play, where it's like, okay, we hit one skill shot, now we got to hit an actual one. We burned the Banshee's Veil, we burned the Edge of Night, what's next? And by the time they've burned both of them, they're normally back up again. So Supernova, they're playing this little game of, you know, we hit one, we got to hit another. Cyberneil still standing.
Weaver's Wall does get dropped to try and zone them away from the Dragon, and so far it's been working out quite well. Nothing that AOE randoms can do. They have to watch as the Dragon is decimated. That's going to be 2 Hextech Drakes into the hands of Supernova.
They have 30 seconds on the Baron here. They can take this mid lane inhibitor if they want, if they have the timing down, which I think they do. AOE randoms, they tried to contest for the Dragon on the bot side of mid. They're going to lose their turret for sure. The inhibitor is the question.
Yeah, looking like they're not going to. Never mind. They have the
maneuver.
Yep. They're looking for something, and look at that, Paucus. He's looking to move into this backline here. Quickness does get popped, but oh my god, he almost gets one popped himself. Chaos Storm gets dropped onto Meslo. Meanwhile, in the bottom of your screen right now, you can see just the absolute decimation that comes through. Geiger and Paucus both going down. That's 2 down indeed, and maybe even a 3rd if they can find another skill shot here onto Devin, but it's not looking too likely. Gonna opt instead to go into this top lane and grab those turrets.
Yeah, with no Baron versus a Victor, ending the game becomes incredibly difficult. But what you can do is try and zone them off the turret. You can try and take another inhibitor. It's going to be much less of a commitment by the Supernova squad and much more difficult for AOE randoms to try and defend.
Yep. Ooh, this is Siphon Tip does land. Deathmark going right on top, but it doesn't even matter. The Feather Storm as well. Too little, too late. Goodbye, good night. Down you go. They lose Pluto, but it was just a heroic sacrifice. So much healing coming out.
Nemesis is still up
to stay alive. Now we see once again Paucus looking for something, trying to get Nemesis the space that he needs. Nemesis finds 1. Nemesis looking to find 2. Can he get it? He will indeed, but he will still go down. The Acathian Rain from the grave takes him out.
Yep, and this Victor is the linchpin for AOE Random, still keeping them in the game, barely keeping that top lane inhibitor alive and finding another team fight. A 3-for-3 there in the base of AOE Randoms. Ultimately, that's just going to be a couple kills, a couple sets of gold going into either team's pockets. Won't have that much of an impact because both of them are going to reset and be back up on the map. This is Nemesis going in, flashes onto one side, and Tomato just barely dodges that knock-up, uses the stealth to buy enough time, gets the Acathian Rain cooldown back up, and able to just barely trade out onto the Victor. But with all these resets, all of these deaths, more so than anything else, we're going to see everybody start to come back to life. And now the Baron, with 90 seconds left on that respawn, likely going to be the point of contention. Look at your items for Supernova. 4 items on Jace, 4 items on Nidalee, working on the Guardian Angel for Tomato, making it so difficult for this Kai'Sa to be taken down. And we look at the stopwatch check as well. 3 stopwatches for Supernova, plus the Zhonya's in the back pocket of Actor. Trying to catch anybody, if you're Paucus, is going to be so difficult. Like he's not had enough trouble by just getting one shot by the Jace, he's now going to go through 3 different stasis.
Indeed, Paucus, though, he's looking to find something. Pops the quickness, though. Actor does go. He's in the thick of things once again. Not Actor, excuse me, Ariandel, and does go down accordingly. Nothing that the side of Supernova could do. They get caught out, and with Baron up in 37 seconds, that is a huge damage dealer taken off the board.
And importantly, I think the AOE randoms preserved their mid wave as well. If they can do that, they're going to be able to try and take down turrets in that mid lane as well. Barrel catches. Supernova going for a trade.
Indeed. Looking to get this tier 3 turret here, though. A nice little hop over the wall, but a lot of damage coming on the Paucus here. Now we see Tomato with the engage. He gets 1. He gets 2. He gets the turret. They get the inhibitor. And Supernova are looking to go Supernova right about now. They've got 2 inhibitors down. Looking to make it 3 as well. And right now, Cyber and Nemesis can only watch as they are just being decimated. Their base, I should say, is being decimated. The death mark onto Actor. Not going to find the damage. Tomato goes gold, but the Chaos Storm is right above him. It's going to take him out. The Feather Storm as well. They'll trade 1 for 1. Whoa, so much damage on the Cyber. Actor wants to find something, but doesn't want to go too deep.
If Meslo can get this, is triple in here for Supernova. I don't know that he's going to be given the luxury, though. W does enough. He may have to just get this and get out. It's going to be enough. The Baron as well. Supernova with such good shot calling in the late stage. Ariandel gets caught. Supernova are in a 4v5. All of a sudden, they flip a fight in the bot lane where they have a numbers advantage and just take it. They're going to get the Baron, they get triple inhib.
Yep, trying to get the steal here, won't quite find it. Pluto over the wall is going to give his life, most likely for the Baron. Yep, will go down into the hands of Nemesis 9. Cyber and Pockets just barely making out the spear. Goes a little bit long. Won't quite find it. The slow as well from the Zed. Oh my god, Cyber. He's trying to outplay him. The Death Mark comes out, but it doesn't even matter. Down you go. Nowhere to go but into the ground. And he's going to be taking an Actor. Needs to be careful though. He underestimated Nemesis damage, but a huge 500 HP heal comes out, and he gets over the wall with this flash, and he lives to fight another day.
They've got triple inhib plus Baron.
Yep.
Supernova need to simply stand in the base, and AOE randoms can lose the game. They have such siege control right there. They're going to take this dragon as well as a precaution. That mid inhib is going to be respawning very soon. But for Supernova, taking this game should be rudimentary. This should be a clean closeout with that mid inhibitor respawning. They need to take that. They need to stand around their minions and let the Baroned up triple waves of super minions do the work.
Yeah, well, there we go. First inhibitor spawning, but most likely just to be taken down once again. And Supernova are looking to silence any of the doubters that said that they don't know how to translate a lead to a win. They've been playing an amazing game so far, and I gotta ask
Stay
you,
in the
man.
base!
Yeah, I was about to say, like, just stay in the base. You can do it. I gotta ask you, is there a way still for AOE randoms to get back into this, or is it...
I think they needed to... I would have liked to see them try and take a fight at that inhib respawn. Now they just have to take any fight they can, because they're going to get overran by minions soon enough. They did a good job at getting rid of some of the minions top.
Yep, the Weaver wall gets dropped, and it's going to block Geiger and Devin from escaping once again. It's deja vu, and down goes Devin. Geiger soon to follow. He's going out as well. Supernova, they're looking to keep the dream alive. Chaos Storm gets dropped. So does the first Nexus turret. Down goes our first member, though, Supernova. Can they find a turnaround here? Pluto goes down, too, but this is not enough. Oriental and Actor, they're here to end the game. They're here to end AOE streams. They hop into the fountain, goes gold, stays alive, and Supernova's dreams will not be crushed.
2-0 for Supernova. AOE random squashed at their feet. A very nice series and two different styles of the Supernova squad coming out to bat tonight. Really well played game number 2. More of a classic Supernova that we've come to witness. Actor show for the early game, but everybody stepping up in the late game to do what was necessary to find the win.
Yeah, a bit of a cyberbullying going on at that top there, especially against Geiger. You really hate to see it, but it's like you pointed out, right? It was so huge to be able to see like both sides of the coin, basically, right? Game number 1, it was much more of a slow, maybe not intentionally slow, methodical sort of gameplay, right? At the start, things just weren't really looking too good for him, but then they, they bring it back around and they grab the win. Game number 2, they're like, yo, we're on our Supernova mode right now, bro. And then they just absolutely stomp the early game. They stomp the mid game. They stomp the late game, and they grab themselves that second win.
Beautifully done. Yeah, they got that stomp and they went for the early stage win, and they managed to find it really, really well. 2-0, 2 deserved as well for both teams that got them tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Sadly, we have to say goodbye to AOE randoms, but on a much brighter note, Supernova are still in it. The dream is still alive, and so we'll throw it to a quick break. And then when we're back, we'll get a little bit of interview going and get some of the thoughts of the Supernova team itself. Don't go anywhere. What? Yeah, I'm joined by the one and only, the hero, the savior himself, Pluto. How are you feeling today, man?
Feeling good. It was a good 2-0, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I gotta address the elephant in the room. First of all, y'all really, you just straight up went and silenced any of the haters that were out here, because I feel like for a while now, the narrative has kind of been that, Supernova, a bit of a team that seems to struggle to translate early game leads into wins. And this time around, you guys, it feels like you show two sides of a coin, right? Game number 1, it was very slow and methodical. And then game number 2, you guys just absolutely full sent it. Have you guys been kind of like practicing that a lot, really cementing that skill?
Yeah, for sure. We know it's like our biggest weakness, not being able to close out games. Like, I think out of our last 2 scrims, in literally every game, we have like a 5k gold lead, if not more, at like 15. So, but we just can't win sometimes. That was our struggle, but I mean, we fixed it for these games. So yeah, feels good.
Yeah, absolutely. It was beautiful to see. Asa, I need to ask a little bit. Okay, so game 1, a lot of jungle focused bands come out, and you guys pick the Kiana, a pick who has fallen out of the meta a little bit. Was this like a pick that's been practiced a lot even in this meta, and so you guys felt very secure in it, or was this just kind of like off the fly, off the cusp, like, hey, we got to pick someone?
Yeah, so this is actually something, it's like not only an actor like special pick, it's like
Ooh.
a pick he loves to play, but also with Talia, it's just like a crazy 2v2 team fight combo, like
Yeah.
so hard to walk into zones with that combo. So yeah, it's for sure something we practice and wanted to play.
Yeah, it was great to see. Obviously, bit of a rocky start, game number 1, right? But then as time went on, you guys started just snowballing out of control. Tomato as well, dealing so much damage. And then I want to throw it to game number 2. Y'all did my boy Geiger up top a little bit dirty. Okay, you guys did him dirty. I'm gonna have to berate you for that one. And I do kind of want to know, was that the game plan going into game number 2, or did that just kind of come as a result from you guys seeing that, you know, his positioning wasn't the best and you can exploit that?
Yeah, so after like the first phase of draft, we kind of went into the second draft. I think it was Actor who said like, I just want to play something like Nidalee. We have a great range comp. And once Geiger picked GP, like he just said, all right, we're just gonna dive this guy 20 times, and that's what happened. So
yeah, y'all really did it to him. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's one of those. I'm walking away from my keep. Oh, we even get to see it on the stream. Yeah, let's see this. Like Geiger. I mean, yeah, no, you gotta respect the Minions MVP as well. Doesn't respect the fact that Actor is on the Nidalee and gets to has to pay the price for it to the absolute least. Absolutely amazing gameplay. It was, I mean, it was stunning to say the absolute least. I'm gonna put you on the spot here for a second, and I'm gonna ask you, who was the MVP for this game on your team? You can say yourself too. You know, don't feel pressure.
No.
Egotistical.
It definitely wasn't me. I think it was Actor Tomato. I think Actor had a crazy 2 games. He for sure. I think it was Actor. He played really well. Yeah.
Okay.
I think everyone played well, but yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Amazing team effort coming out from you guys. And can we expect to see more of this sort of two-coined approach coming out from Supernova, where it's like one game you might, you know, take it a bit slower, and then the other game you just go full force and just stomp them? Or was that just more of it wasn't really necessarily planned, but you guys just found a way to adapt and work around?
Oh, for sure. I think like the thing amateur teams don't do well is like pick a style and like play it at all. But like we have a very clear style where we like early jungle focus, and like we're pretty good at it. So we have the ability to like play
understatement, but yeah.
Styles. Like we have the time to practice another style, and yeah, for sure we can play both.
All right. Well, before we get to the end here, if you want to shout anyone out, now is the time. Go ahead.
Honestly, Zoo's like crazy. This is the first time I've worked with him like personally. I've had him in like a couple combines and stuff, but yeah, Zoo is like super crazy to work with. Really love working with him.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, man. I'm going to let you go, and I think we're going to throw it back on over to Rude Dude at the desk here so we can talk a little bit more about that game. But, Ludo, thanks so much for joining me, man.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that was something. It's interesting to hear kind of, you know, we got the sauce. We found out what was happening. They really did my boy Geiger dirty up in the top. But how you feeling about this new Supernova, man?
Hey, you know, I still am really excited to see what their capabilities are and what their ceiling is, right? We got to see them really punished in the first week of games, and I think that this second week we've seen a completely different look from them. Obviously, their games next week are going to be very difficult because they're either up against EGP or Taco Gaming, so one of those two is not going to be super easy for them to get away with. But when you're up against EGP or Taco, you have to use this momentum to swing through and really try and get the best out of that series, because they're going to be going into it as the underdogs, and they have to show themselves off once again. Yeah,
well, hey, I for one am so happy that, you know, they're, like I said, their coach was very vocal about that they've been really practicing, you know, to find a way to really, you know, translate those leads into wins, and also just some different styles, and we got to see that today. And so it was very promising, to say the absolute least, and I am so excited to see Supernova going forward with them securing this game. They do secure the dream to continue on. Like we said, we have to say goodbye to AOE randoms, but regardless, it was an amazing performance from both of these teams. And with that, that's going to actually wrap up day 3. So let's take another look real quick at the caster predictions here. See what we got right, what we got wrong. Already, I'm crying a little bit because my 100% rate is just shot down to the wind.
You're crying a little bit. It's looking like a clean 4-0 for me. 4 wrong, 0 right so far. I did a little bit dirty. I changed my predictions yesterday. I did predict 3P to win, but that one didn't make it through. So that's unlucky. But either way, well done Supernova. Well done to CLG as well for what, as you can see, is an upset win on the Academy stream. So, hey, you know what? I'll take the 0-4 on occasion.
Absolutely, yeah. It was. Hey, it was absolutely great to see, and obviously, all this couldn't have been done without our lovely sponsors. Rude dude, can you give them the shout out they deserve, please?
Yes, sir. We bring them up, and we got to thank Atlantic, HyperX, and Zowie for making this all possible. Thank you to them for giving us the platform, giving us the space to do this great stuff.
Yep, and even though tonight is over with, as we wrap it up, we have so much more content coming from the next couple of weeks, so expect to see a whole lot more. I don't know if Academy is still streaming right now.
They are
indeed. So I'm sure we'll probably end up hosting them, and y'all can go check out what they have to offer. They probably still got some bangers going down. I'm seeing right now Jake's Kittens going on, against Ginger Turmeric, I believe. Might be wrong there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign us out. Rude dude, thanks so much for joining me, brother. It was so much fun casting with you. And to all of you guys, thanks so much for watching, and hope to see you guys next time.
Peace.